right.
This,
we are
however,
in the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, things can only get better from here. And we are off with our first match. It is going to be, well, let's do the traditional caster thing. Kevin, please introduce these players.
No. That's what you're supposed to do, Jeff.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, I want you
All
to.
right,
At least one of them. I can do the other one.
Okay, let's do that.
But I need you to set the bar very low so I can top it.
Okay, I'll do it as low as I can, and then we'll see how low you can go.
That's the song,
All right.
too.
We've so there will be caster bias here, so I'll do the one that you're not biased for. In the top left-hand side of Frost, the red Terran from Team CM Storm, it is Polt. Take it away, Kevin.
And over here, in the right bottom side of the map, we've got the captain of Root Gaming. He has many names, but we know him as Catz.
Catz. I love that on EU his name is Giges.
Yeah, we are just going to ignore that fact for now.
We are?
Yes.
Okay, I drew a little bit of attention to it. But we can
Yeah,
move
but
away from it. Catz, a little bit of a wild card, so that's why when you look at this matchup on paper, you're like, okay, Catz versus Polt should be a clear victory for Polt, but Catz, he's been clawing and meowing his way to some victories that a lot of people would feel like is a big upset. He's kind of an upset generator, if you will. A mastermind.
Yeah, he's definitely the type of player as well that if you don't know him, it's going to get harder and harder to play against him.
Yeah.
I do think with Polt spending so much time in the US that he should be quite familiar with a couple of the tricks that Catz has up his sleeves. And it's going to be an interesting series, but it's going to be hard for Catz to truly surprise Polt, I feel.
I agree. Polt also, one of the things that he kind of benefits from is he's not a crazy guy that does a lot of different things. And I feel like that sometimes players can get caught in that trap of like, oh, I'm playing Catz, well, I need to just, I'm going to go crazy too because, maybe if, I can just outsmart him here and there. Like, that's playing to Catz's game. But Polt does the same one or two things per matchup every single time. And he's actually been that way for years. And part of the reason why we keep hearing Polt's name is because he masters those builds, those styles. He does not fool around. So you literally have to outplay Polt, generally speaking, to beat him, and that's going to be a huge challenge for Catz. It's going to be very tough.
Catz, of course, has good mechanics, but I wouldn't say that's his strongest point. One of the things that Catz is really well known for is that he's able to adapt, and he's also smart. He thinks a lot about the game. Sometimes, perhaps, he thinks even more about the game than he actually plays it, but we've seen him play quite a bit lately, and he's been streaming a lot as well. So I really think it's going to be important for Catz, like if he puts some thought into this, that maybe he is able to find a small weakness in that build of Polt that in general doesn't have a weakness, unless he can trick Polt into expecting something that's not really there, and then he's able to jump on that opportunity. It's going to be something like that. Either way, Jeff, our first Reaper is making his way across the map. Catz already with 4 slow Zerglings over here, so he should be fine.
Yeah, just now, I mean, that's one of the benefits of playing on Frost. Not only is it a large map, but it's also a true 4-player map. Catz could have spawned anywhere, so the Reaper did not take what you would call the most efficient path there, and that means that Catz is, at least at first glance here, probably not going to lose any Harvesters, as the Queens are already out. The Reaper going to poke in. I think it did see that there is gas that at least has been mined, but that's not the craziest of things. It's very standard. Zergs typically like to go for fast speed here.
We see more and more tricks these days over a lot of Zerg players where they make a big swell of links in the phasing game where it's unexpected because the Terran player doesn't have a bunker. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Catz make a play like that. And above all, if he's somehow able to take down one of these Reapers, it would be extremely nice for him because Polt really relies on keeping those units alive as well.
Yeah, even with, I believe, I want to say there's a 3rd Reaper over here. Maybe it's just the 2.
Yeah, the 3 Reaper opening is so popular. But right now he's afraid because he saw gas was being mined. He most likely is able to do the map for himself. Like, all right, speed was about ready to be researched right now, so it's going to take an additional 110 seconds before it's ready.
Yeah.
But already be saved in the story because what if, it was slightly off one way or the other. He doesn't want to lose these Reapers. These Reapers make the next phase in the game a lot better for Polt as soon as those Hellions enter the fray. And we also see a Banshee follow-up, at least most likely.
Yes, it should switcherooski with that. No, hold with that thought. Actually, we're gonna get at least a single Marauder out here, but maybe he's gonna stick on it. Yeah, I saw that. The gas being stolen there. It was actually the drone scout pulls in, depot goes up. It's like you're trapped now, and I love Catz being Catz. He's like, you know what? I'm going to take this gas in the off chance that you have to either stay at home and do something about this, or maybe it throws off your build. But as we can see, Polt just takes the gas in the natural. And actually, it's going to be sustained Mirage. Okay, now, this reminds me. I love seeing the Viking come out here, but Polt, in his TVZ, oftentimes what he'll do is 4 Marauders and a Medevac, and they become a little bit of a snipe force. If you drop a hatch that's unguarded, that can go down. If your queen is exposed, that too can die. So Polt, again, going back into his bag of tricks and coming up with the same stuff.
See that third hatchery is already going up for Catz. Of course, it's not saturated just yet. He doesn't have to either. He's just squeezing out a lot of drones, just now really making Zerglings. If he would have had a big number of links, he could have actually just jumped on those 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. Because before Hellion number 3 and 4 arrive, I actually think this is quite weak against, let's say, 20 Zerglings. Now it's going to be a lot harder to engage it though.
Yeah, Catz knows the biggest of forces out here, and actually this is a really good angle for Polt. Polt's going to tuck himself back in the corner. Gets that hatch to about half health and will actually end up backing away. Perhaps, again, not really understanding what Catz is capable of, because he definitely had enough to put on more of a show there. Catz ended up using most of that queen energy on, I believe it was tumors and injects. No transfuses available there.
Hellion count goes up now though. We have 6 Hellions and those 3 Reapers with only 11 Zerglings on the map, and Catz even made more additional drones. I'm a little bit worried for Catz.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any static defenses either. These queens are very exposed.
They're
right
on
now.
an island by themselves. Lynx and Sweeney are trying to help, but they die almost immediately. 1 Hellion, 2 Hellions do die. Third one low in health. The Reaper's so far untouched, and actually, you know, we were talking, well, yeah, so the Reapers are actually supposed to tank damage. Yeah, there we go. They're going to be positioned in the front there because they can regenerate health. And again, more Zerglings coming out, but what's kind of nice here is that we're not seeing that base saturate just yet. 2 queens dying here as well. Polt's doing such a good job of making Catz pay to defend this. Like, obviously Catz doesn't die here, but he's getting so much damage and he's spending so much money just to not die that it's ending up hurting him a lot.
I'm a little bit worried though. Like 2 more queens are on the way. Does he have a transfuse available?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. It's transfuse Catz. Oh my god. Wow, he misses it. I guess he's macroing at home, so he will lose 1 more queen, but right now he does have enough Zerglings out to push back this little hit squad. But needless to say, this was very effective so far for Polt.
Oh, yeah, I mean, effective is a way of putting it. This is a wedgie and a twirly and every other bullying thing you can think of from high school. This is Catz getting shoved around a little bit right now with the Marines and a Marauder, a single Marauder. So it's not going to be that 4 Marauder push, but this is now getting into the territory of maybe Catz does die here.
Yeah. Okay, now Transfuse will go down so that 1 queen is able to soak up a little bit more damage. We have 4 Banelings, but they are slow Banelings, and the Hellions will be able to soak up the damage together with that Marauder, and I'm afraid this might just be it.
Yeah, I love how the Marauder just steps forward and chest bumps all the Banelings like, I got this, that's fine. Catz losing Overlords here right now. The hatchery so far not being singled out. I guess Polt figures with just the 5 Marines or so, he doesn't really have the DPS to perhaps drop it, but he's doing so much damage. And Catz is just trying to muster what he can. He ends up repelling it just now. The medevac, excuse me, one of the medevacs is on fairly low health. But even look at the supply. Right now, Terran is closing in on a 20 supply advantage. The Viking in the background killing Overlords. It's getting rough. It's getting really rough.
Yep, there is a 3rd orbital command, of course, as well. There's no bailing speed just yet. Catz has lost so many queens this game. How many queens went down? 7 queens already.
7 queens.
At the 11-minute mark. That's pretty bizarre.
That's brutal. And in that production tab, we can see that it will be kind of the classic Link Muta Baneling, but I gotta tell you, Link Muta Baneling really, like, it ends up being defensive in most TVZs. It would ideally want to be offensive, but it ends up being defensive. But to be defensive with 4 drones on your 3rd and you're already producing Mutalisks, like, you're supposed to just do this with a fully 3rd saturated. And you're taking your 4th right now with maybe 4 drones, but Catz, he's basically behind a full base of what he planned for this army composition.
Yeah, Catz really has nothing going for himself right now. The only thing we can praise him for is that he somehow didn't really lose a single drone yet in this game.
Yeah.
Or maybe he lost... No, he didn't lose a single drone. That was very well done. But he lost so many queens and he was forced to produce a ridiculous amount of links that also all died. It's not like he made a lot of units and he cleaned up a push. No, like, they still died, and a couple of the units from Polt even got away. So, army supply, we take a look at it right now, we can see that Polt already has a small advantage. And considering the fact that, you know, Catz has no creep spread, no upgrades, no anything, it's looking pretty dark for our Capitan.
Yeah, TVZ is a very attrition-based matchup. It's often trading back and forth, and if you're the player, either the Terran or the Zerglings trading more cost-effectively, that's how you feel the impact in the game. Like you said, no creep spread right now. There's no huge number of Zerglings. There's very few things we can look at to give Catz that big X factor. And here we go. We're going to have that engagement. Beal's doing what they can. They kind of focused on the medevac, but it's not enough. And now the slow Baneling's getting chased back. Catz, once again, trading very cost-ineffectively. A poor engagement.
Yep, also 5 seconds or 5 to 10 seconds before bailing speed, but even off creep with bailing speed, it's still going to be hard to get those dream connections. Now we do get a couple of reasonable bailing connections, but the supply is plummeting for Catz, and more Marines are just showing up to this party. For now, Catz is going to push it back again, so well done by Paolo, but he's down 18 workers, and
exactly.
he's on the wrong side to be down 18 workers.
TVZ is it's more so than the other matchups, I feel. Actually, we might have a couple medevacs caught out here in the middle of the map. That's a nice little thing for Catz. Needs to back away now. Banelings do have that speed, but to go back to my point, it's a very numbers game. Like, even in that engagement, we see Polt retreating, so our brains say, okay, Catz won that fight, but look at the supply. Polt, his economy continues to churn up, it continues to produce, so that supply gap is actually widening, despite the fact that our eyes are telling us Catz prevailed, you know, so it's a very interesting matchup in that way.
And ever since, you know, like the last 6-7 minutes, I feel ever since Catz was starting to take damage, he has not been able to produce any additional workers. And a Zerg that's on 49 drones on 3 bases, this is not what you're looking for. A Zerg, you want to be at like 72, 76 maybe. And then, oh, there's one Widowmine.
No, it could have been better. Could have been better. It was okay though. Catz does take a semi-nice encounter here. It was a nice encounter, but what's so hard about it, Rotterdam, is that every time Catz wins a fight, you almost feel bad for him because it's still such an expensive fight for him to win. As you said, he's just not making drones. If you look at that production tab, 20 more links coming out here. These mules are limping into this engagement. Once again, they're going to eke out a couple of medevacs, but then they have to turn around and run. And the supply gap continues to widen. Polt producing like a mad dog. Meanwhile, Catz not able to get drones out means that third base is almost not even a third base. It's like a third hatchery, and that's it.
Yeah, the production tab pretty much tells the story of the state of the game. One moment Polt had like 7-8 things going on, like 2 tours, bunch of Marines, Marauders, medevac, 2 upgrades, and then you see 20 Zerglings for the Zerg. Well,
got a big link, Mutilus counterattack over here, no Banelings there though. Catz trying to find a hole in that Polt armor, doing what he can, but at every turn there just seems to be more Polt. GG is called out, and Polt takes the first game of this best of 3.
Catz realizing that he's just too far behind. He doesn't have the economy that he needs to battle with a guy like Polt. That was well played by Polt, but I must say I'm a little bit surprised that Catz struggled so much.